to Rapid Fire Insights. I'm your host, Dave McCall. This is my co host, Chris Hanna.
Hello, hello.
And today we are very pleased to have Layan Barakat. She is the uh, marketing coordinator for the EPI Center at the University of Windsor. Uh,
Yeah, great spot there. That's really helping to support entrepreneurship within the university here in Windsor. There's so much going on in terms of just entrepreneurs in general in the community that we have throughout the Windsor Essex region.
oh, absolutely. And the great thing about the EPI Center is it's helping people like the students right from day one. You know, if they have an idea or a concept, they're right there to help support them right from the school, and then you know continue on down the road.
And I think,
But
like, yeah, when you can foster that early interest in entrepreneurship and that can continue to grow and flourish, it's pretty powerful. So let's bring her on the show and let's talk about it.
Hello.
hello,
Hello.
Leanne.
How are you
Uh,
today?
we are doing well. We are doing
Good.
well, and we were talking just before you came on
hmm
about the epicenter,
hmm
and basically what a great organization it is, how beneficial it is to the students and the community.
hmm
I know your role there is marketing director.
Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit about the epicenter and kind of what your day is like there?
Yeah, absolutely. So Epicenter is the entrepreneurial hub on the University of Windsor campus, and we help students and recent graduates of up to 7 years start up their own businesses. So we're really fostering that entrepreneurial spirit on campus, and we really try to teach people that entrepreneurship is not just about, hey, I have this business, I want to start this business, because I feel like that actually deters a lot of people from different faculties of actually pursuing entrepreneurship, whereas having an entrepreneurial mindset can you can utilize that in any industry that you're in. So for example, a teacher making a lesson plan, that's an entrepreneurial mindset. Me myself working in marketing, that's an entrepreneurial mindset. So there's entrepreneurship and there's intrapreneurship, and we try to think of ourselves as entrepreneurship here because we are all individually entrepreneurs that are or have entrepreneurial minds, and we are working towards the collective goal of helping students, community members, recent graduates, whoever it may be, pursue that entrepreneurial goal. So basically, my typical day here is we work with a lot of different community members that might just stroll in through the front doors and be like, hey, I have a great idea. What do I do with this idea? Or even just we have government funded programs where we try to promote to different members of the community. And sometimes it's not necessarily just students, it's even people in the community who have been out of school for many years and just have a great idea. We have programs for social entrepreneurs, we have programs aimed towards women. So basically, we just encourage anybody to come by and just see what resources are available to them.
So with you're saying that, like, we're so past students up to 7 years can do it, but then other people who are not part of the university can also kind of pop in. Where do they
Mhm.
start? Is it just is it just like a conversation with somebody that kind of takes them through that process to kind of overview of some of the services, or like how's that journey begin when somebody kind of comes through the door?
So there's different programs that we have, and the first initial program is the Venture Start program. So Venture Start is essentially when you're like, "Hey, I have this fantastic idea," and everybody's been there, right? You think of, "Hey, why isn't this a business?" Or "Why isn't this? I have this amazing invention that why isn't this already created?" So the Venture Start program is essentially what that is. You come in through the doors, and we'll put you into that program where we set you up with a business mentor, and we have entrepreneurs and residents who are experienced entrepreneurs who have had their own businesses, sold their own businesses. They really know what they're talking about. We'll pair you up with one, and you will take the steps in to understand what it might take to become an entrepreneur or make this idea a reality. From there, we have all these government funded programs. For example, our next program that's coming up, we have the Venture Women program. Applications just opened for that. So if you are a female identifying entrepreneur that wants to explore entrepreneurship and understand that there are some setbacks for women in entrepreneurship, you can enter this program, and this program will give you the tools that you need in order to succeed and equal the playing field in terms of those adversities that female entrepreneurs experience. And we also have, like I said, the social enterprise program that's aimed towards businesses that have a social impact, and that is in collaboration with Libro Credit Union. So based on where the funding is coming from, there are different credentials for each program.
So can you give us an example of a story that kind of sticks in your mind, a success story here?
Oh my goodness, we've had so many. So Zuli Eats. Zuli started a food-based business, and she started from our Venture Women program. So she was an employee at the casino, and she used to make these amazing meat pies. And after COVID, her kids were like, "Why don't you make this a business?" And she joined our program, and now she has the storefront Zuli Eats on Howard Road, and we're so proud. Uh, Sarah Robbins. She is a muralist, and she came in through the same program that Zuli did. And she's such a talented artist. And there are so many murals in the Walkerville and Ford City area that she actually did. So there are so many amazing entrepreneurs that come by from all different faculty or all different industries, and we're able to give them the tools and resources that they need to succeed in their journey. And those are just two examples of many.
When you say the word many, it just makes me think that, and maybe this is just my own gut feel, but like in the last number of years, we've just seems like there's an influx of people who are wanting to either create that side hustle or
Mhm.
to build out their own business, or they have this idea that they've been thinking about for a long time and now they're wanting to take action.
Mhm.
Is that just me feeling that way, but or is it or is that numbers starting to show there's more and more people who are interested in going down the entrepreneurial path?
I definitely think there are more and more people that are wanting to go down the entrepreneurial path. And I think this is twofold. And I think one of those experiences is unique to Windsor, Essex. So I think first, I'm going to start with COVID. I think once COVID hit, so many people realized that they were out of control of their situations and they wanted to take back control. And in that wanting control of their own life and their own story, they decided that entrepreneurship is their route. And Windsor Essex has so many different, our ecosystem partners are here to help people. So us, VTech Alliance, Small Business Center, we're all here to help people pursue those goals. Another thing is, and I keep saying this, that Windsor is a city of makers. So being like, I wasn't born here, but I was raised here. And I just remember growing up here and thinking, there's nothing to do, right? So Windsor, that was the narrative of everybody. We're like, there's nothing to do. So what did we do? We became photographers, we became musicians, we became writers, we became artists. And all of those people, we are still connected to one another. So you need, if you're in a band, you need a photographer. You call up that friend from high school because we all kind of grew up together and we understand what it is to be a maker. We are the children of the parents that were in the automotive industry, and we understand what it is to be self-made. But
And
we just, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I think as well, Anne. I
Mhm,
was having this conversation with a friend of mine.
mhm,
During COVID, there was less opportunities for young individuals to go
mhm,
to work
mhm,
because work wasn't there.
mhm.
So I think a lot of people, realized that they had to go online to make money.
Yes.
And they realized that there's a lot of opportunities out there if you know what you're doing and do it properly. So I
Mhm,
definitely think that on top of the idea of wanting to be in control of your life, which I completely agree with you on that,
mhm,
and Windsor being a phenomenal, ecosystem
mhm,
for entrepreneurs. I have the world of networking, so I talk to people all the time about things like that.
mhm,
Um, I have talked to quite a few people who said, um, I, I I started selling this online during COVID,
mhm,
and now I'm making some money, but now I want to take this into a bigger type
mhm,
of business. And
mhm,
it's great to have things like the EPI Center and WeTech,
mhm,
that they're there to help foster that and give direction.
mhm.
I know that you guys put on various events. Um, what is one of the most successful events that you guys have put on?
That's difficult to answer. We've had a lot of successful events. So we had a event that ran for 5 years called the Business Model Canvas Competition, and that was in collaboration with RBC. And so that was a huge event that we put on every year. But now we're also rolling out a new event called Connect Four. So Connect 4 is a networking event that we try to hold either monthly or every other month, and it connects students with community members in different industries. So we tackled mental health, we tackled all different industries. The next one that we have coming up is Connect 4. It's a swap. So students who maybe have clothing items that they don't need, or anything that they want to donate, they can come in, they can donate it, and that gives them a ticket to swap. And then they can swap out with other students that might have things. So we're creating a circular economy within the University of Windsor ecosystem to help them get their holiday shopping done on a budget or for free. And we're kind of helping the economy. We're taking donations. Anything that's left behind is going to be donated to the International Student Association here. And then also, if you don't have things to donate, you could bring in non-perishable food items, and then you can kind of swap that out for some things in the swap that we're doing. So the Connect 4 initiative is definitely our newest and most exciting event that we're planning, or that we're actively doing, and we're really excited to roll out different ideas within that.
That's awesome.
Okay,
When you said that, go ahead,
go
Dave.
ahead, Chris. No, go ahead, Chris.
I was going to say, like, when you talk about, obviously there's new events, there's new ideas, there's something that's all like that's been around for obviously for a while in different iterations, but like AI has been talked about a lot. And I'm curious from the Epicenter perspective, how is AI being like brought up in terms of conversation or ideas? Is that obviously a hot topic that you're also seeing from students as well?
Yes and no. I don't know. I don't know if I can answer this question in terms of the organization that I work with, but I can answer it quite like that question personally. And I do see a lot of benefits and hindrances in terms of AI. Benefits, there's a lot of, if you're utilizing it in terms of trying to brainstorm creative ways to create marketing strategies or something like that, absolutely. There is also a very humanistic approach that people are missing when it comes to AI. And I see it a lot in terms of, say, somebody that's trying to create a resume or something that, you're really, I think when you are trying to pursue something in terms of selling yourself, in terms of a resume or a business pitch or something like that, there has to be a human element of it, because that's your brand. And it all comes down to branding and how people actually relate to you as a person, or relate to you in terms of what your business is. And utilizing AI in a lot of ways can take that completely out. And it's like, who am I hiring? Who am I, who is this person that I'm commissioning to do this work for me? I don't know. And that is where my problem with AI is. But I also see a lot of benefits to AI, and I see a lot of benefits in terms of, trying to be a one-man show in terms of entrepreneurship, and not quite understanding different elements of entrepreneurship and learning it, utilizing the resources that are available to you.
So the landscape of business is constantly evolving. Okay? AI is one of those. How does the Epicenter stay current with the trends as they change, and provide relevant support to the people who are the stakeholders in it?
So, what I think is so unique about Epicenter, and what makes me really love working here, is the fact that you have a small but mighty team of people who really know what they're talking about. So we are a very small team of people, but you talk to each of us individually, and we have a very specific skill set each. And I think that's what makes us unique. And at the same time, we also take a very fun approach to kind of getting people in through the doors and bringing people into our events. We any kind of event that we have like different chants and icebreakers and things that we do just to make people feel comfortable. So when you really look at us as a team, it's a very skilled group of people who are also very personable, and I think that's what sets Epicenter apart from every other organization.
Okay.
Great. That's awesome. I think that like when you can have that level of the personality mix, the experiences come together, it can create something pretty powerful. And it sounds like that's obviously what's happening with the
Absolutely,
episode.
and that's where the branding comes in, right? Because that's what you get known for is just um, if you are kind of following a formula of what you think you should be doing or who you think you should be, you kind of get lost in the sauce, and that's something that my coworkers always make fun of me for saying. Um, but I think that if you allow yourself to like shine, have your personality to shine, and kind of really hone in your individuality, that is what draws people in. And I think Epicenter has done a great job of that. And I think our director, Wentio, has done a great job of really fostering that in all of us.
That's awesome. Well, let's get your personality to continue to shine here.
Ah,
I'm gonna flip the switch here,
I'm so
and
nervous.
we're gonna throw 15 questions at you. It's a
Okay.
mix. It is some questions that be related to what you're doing, and some off the
Okay.
wall questions. First thing that comes to your head. You ready?
I think so.
You got it. You will nail this.
Okay.
All right. One word that defines a successful entrepreneur for you.
Resilience.
What's the biggest misconception when it comes to marketing?
Um, Following a formula.
What's your favorite hobby to do outside of work?
Painting.
Nice. Who's a business leader you would love to have lunch with?
Oprah Winfrey.
What do you think is the biggest challenge with running a business, in your opinion?
Internal competition.
What's the biggest lesson that you've personally learned in the last year?
Follow your intuition.
What do you think is one of the most crucial business skills that every student needs to pick up early on in their career?
Networking.
I think Dave would agree on that one. Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely.
Do you prefer to work from home, office, or hybrid?
Hybrid.
What's your all-time favorite movie?
Breakfast at Tiffany's.
How about your favorite genre of music?
Indie rock.
What's one word that describes your work ethic?
Creative.
What's the most used app on your phone?
Instagram.
Startup or corporate? Which should somebody be wanting to jump into and learn more at?
Startup.
And what's one thing that you would tell those who are interested in business to pick up, to learn, to gather more insights and information? How could they do that?
There's nothing to learn. Just jump in. Just do it. It's
There you go.
scary.
It's 15 questions. You answered them all really,
There
really
you go. When
quickly.
you were all nervous.
Survived.
Thank you. I was so nervous.
Now, just a quick little change up here, but
Okay.
from a personal standpoint, marketing. You got into marketing. Why marketing? Was it something that you personally enjoyed? Was it something that drew you there? I mean, there's usually a story behind why people head a certain direction.
I think that it was not a linear path. It was not something that I went into school thinking I'm going to do marketing. I started out doing English and creative writing. I went into journalism. I went into communications. I just kind of kept dancing around all the things that I enjoyed doing until it brought me to this position. Before I was here, I was in the Changing Lives Together Foundation at Hotel de Grace, and I love doing event planning for nonprofits. And then I came here to Epicenter and I started doing marketing here. So it definitely was not a linear path, and I don't think it's marketing per se that drew me to this role. I think it's just being able to connect to people and help people and just kind of have my finger on the pulse of what's going on in Windsor, Essex. And that's what I love so much about this role.
Well, the cool part, if you look at like everything you talked about with your journey, is that every single part of that journey ties to marketing in some way.
Yeah,
Like
it all pieced together.
all those
Yeah.
skill sets are very, very important as they tie together.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? Maybe in the future it'll take me on a different route. And I don't know. And that's the exciting part because now I have all of these skills and I'm kind of one foot is in the arts and one foot is in the corporate world. And like I have all these, sorry about that. I have all these different fingers in all these different pots. And I'm just excited to see where it goes.
I think that's an important lesson for a lot of students to remember as well, right? And that,
Hmm.
you might have an idea of what you want, but that's also going to change. Like the world's going to change, and sometimes that dictates your path, or you have different
Yeah.
interests, or life happens, right? And you
Hmm.
never know where it's going to go. And people need to be okay with that, especially if they're going to try to be more entrepreneurial.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Hmm.
the entrepreneur, I can't talk. Entrepreneurial spirit basically is adapting. You
Yep.
know, it's being able to take something, an idea, or a thought or a skill, and do something with that, and if need be, alter and change your direction at a moment's notice, because as we already said earlier, everything's changing so quickly.
Hmm.
That if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you have to be able to adjust your skill set or pick up new knowledge or alter what you've got. And I think that that's really kind of where places like the epicenter, because they have access to such a variety of different skills and programs and events. I think that's really a great place for people when they're doing those changes, when they're changing direction and they're not quite sure, how to get to that new destination. Um, Contacting places like Epicenter and Layan is crucial to small business.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and there are so many resources to people or for people in the Windsor Essex area that have great ideas and they just kind of want to explore them, and we want those people to come in and explore those ideas. And I think a lot of students get really intimidated because they think that we're only affiliated with Odette School of Business, or they get intimidated by the word entrepreneur. But really, if you think about entrepreneurship, I have a coworker here. He does a program on intellectual property. And he likes to do this thing where whenever you go into a workshop, he'll say, "Who here has owns intellectual property?" And nobody will raise their hand. And then he'll say, "Actually, everybody here owns intellectual property, because it is the ideas that you have that, like, it teaches you that the things that you have, the ideas that you have that are unique, are your own to explore." And that is what we're trying to get people to kind of get their foot in the door and learn. And it's scary, it's terrifying, absolutely terrifying. You're really taking a risk, but it's worth it.
That's
It's
part
worth
of
it.
entrepreneurship, though, is, I think I can't remember the name of the guy who wrote this, but being an entrepreneur is jumping off a cliff and building a plane on the way down.
Yes, that's exactly
That's
it.
basically what it is.
Yeah.
You have to take that risk, you have to jump,
Hmm.
and then figure it out as you go.
Hmm.
But
You said
even
that
though
earlier.
it's scary for a lot of people, they have to remember, like, and it can be very lonely at times building a business.
Hmm.
It's like if you share with other people, that's where I think it comes back to the power of networking, is you can eventually find allies who are kind of maybe going through the same challenges you are, or somebody maybe has gone through that before, and then they can maybe offer some advice. So sharing one's story and what's going on and their ideas is also pretty powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when I was in school for journalism, I thought, my career path was I was going to be a broadcast journalist, and that's just not what life had in store for me. So I thought, okay, well, what do I do from here? So I built a social media presence, and through that, I've been able to work with national and international brands, and through that, I've been able to gain a following of almost like my viewership. I think at this point is about 2 million people globally, and so I've been able to, through my own marketing strategies and through just believing that I can do it, my own delusions, I've been able to kind of really create connections with national and international brands, connect with people all over the world. I have so many people in my Instagram DMs that have seen a YouTube video that I made or something that I made that they resonate with and they just want to chat with me about. And I love that. And I think that even if you're not, the next Mark Zuckerberg or whatever it is, just being able to just believe in yourself and jump in head first and just do whatever your heart tells you to do, it can take you to some incredible places.
And I think that's one of the most important things you said,
Mhm.
is believing in yourself. A
Mhm.
lot of people, they have these ideas, and they just if they believe in themselves, they will follow through and they will take the next step. If they don't have that belief in themselves, they'll hesitate and hesitate and hesitate. And 10 years down the road, it'll be something they'll be talking about that they were going to do 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You really have to have that belief and just jump in there.
Absolutely.
And I think that's fantastic that that's what you do, and that's what you help other people do. So I love that. I really do.
Thank you.
When you think about next step, how can people find more information about what's going on at the Epicenter, or if they want to follow you and connect with you and be some of those followers on Instagram or watching your videos? How do people take that next step?
So if you want to know what's going on at Epicenter, I would encourage you to go to our website. So it's epicenteruwindsor.ca. You can follow us on all socials. So it's just Epicenter Windsor. So EPICENTRE. I was just looking at the sign so I don't get it wrong. And then in terms of myself, it's Layan B. So LAYANBEE, like a bumblebee. So that is my YouTube channel and my Instagram. And yeah, feel free to follow me if you have questions about marketing, or you have a startup or anything. I love chatting with people, getting to know people. So please reach out, and I look forward to meeting you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your insights and being on the show today, Layan. Like, it was absolutely phenomenal having you here. And again, so much of what you're doing, personally and through the Epicenter is absolutely helping people in this community. So again, thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you so much for having me. This was so much fun. I don't know why I was so nervous.
People are always nervous, and then by the end of the show, they're going, "Hey, this was great." And we'd love to have you on again. As the Epicenter or yourself, have different things going on. Let's have you back, and we'll have some more discussions.
Anytime. You just let me know.
Awesome. Again, thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great day.